So a little birdie has told me that sometime over the weekend, probably around, I don't know, the 27th or so, a massive Banwave went out, and a lot of the bot accounts, the cheating bots, anyway, they got banned. Now, I know that there's some other kinds of bots running rampant right now. Idling bots. I don't know if cheat bots would be against TOS or anything like that, but I do know that the cheating and the hacking bots, they got banned. There's been a lot of things going on since around the 3rd of June, and every time I've sat down to make a video about it, or like try to make one of these quick talking voice videos, something new happens. There's a lot going on. Wheezy's buying MVM tickets or something, but now he's not. But the only proof they really have to back that up is he said he's not. So I mean, I don't know. But regardless of all of that, no matter what, I don't believe that I side with a lot of the community interpretation of what's happened these past few days. I do legitimately, honestly believe that this ban wave that's happened has been a long time coming, and I'm actually a little bit worried that maybe this whole fix TF2 movement kind of pushed Valve to put that out before it's ready, and if that's the case, I really, really hope it doesn't come back to bite them in the ass for that. But don't get me wrong, I am glad that the game is a lot more clean now than it ever has been. As somebody who's been playing this game for well over like 12, 13 years at this point, before casual was even a thing, I think I can speak for a lot of people that I don't mind kicking a hacker or a cheater or a bot every now and again. But I think the biggest problem was the influx, like the massive number that they were in, right? Because casual, for all of its pros and cons, its biggest con by far is the fact that you can pile into a server with people and just, all be on the same team, because that meant that you could get 5 or 6 bots in one group, and then all of a sudden you got 5 or 6 bots across the whole server. And that's half of a team, and the voting system is weird. So it didn't always work out till something that I have been adamant about since this whole crisis has started is that Valve aren't stupid. They've known it's been happening, and I don't believe that it's a case of negligence, but rather finding the right way to go about it. And I do believe that my working theory is probably what happened. I believe that they probably did allow it to go on for a little longer than maybe it had to, but the idea behind that, I guess, is that they're able to gather a lot more data the longer it goes on. So if you start acting out and you start just banning things, you don't get a whole lot of data. Whereas if you just kind of let it linger a while, maybe you could get, more data and things like that. What that data entails, I don't know, but it seems that it must have worked out, because from everything that I'm reading, Valve was not only able to delete a lot of those bot accounts, but also go after the hosters and explicitly tell them you need to stop, which is probably a good thing, I hope. The idea, and the reason that I don't typically get myself involved with these movements or things like that is because I do truly honestly feel this way, that they are overrepresenting or underrepresenting certain things in order to make the movement look better, in order to skew public opinion. Things like saying Valve has taken no action was completely untrue. I think it's borderline libel, some of the things that they were sending to news articles way back in 2022, and I won't get into all of that here or now, that's for later, if ever. But that's mainly the reason I haven't gotten involved. I do support the general idea, though, and I do think it's very, very impressive that, a person should stand up for what they believe. If they believe the game has been left to rot, go for it. But I don't think that was ever really the case. And I believe that this recent ban wave is probably proof of that. Again, I've said this before, probably in a video somewhere at some point. Valve, I think, are the best at what they do. I don't think they're stupid, I don't think that they're unaware, and I don't think they were ignoring the problem. It's just that with problems like this, where you have no idea how many there are, or who's involved, or anything like that, you want to get as much information as you can, for as long as possible, as is needed. Now, again, maybe they could have acted a whole lot sooner, but we as a community have seen how those quick trigger actions, those quickly, this thing is happening, we need to act on it now, they didn't work. They never worked. They kept doing them and they just kept failing, and people kept pushing them to do more. I feel like they could have used a little more patience. And with Banwaves and solving problems like this, you can't really have an open discussion with the people because, if you're talking to me, I'm not going to utilize that information, but somebody will. And I don't know what they could have gleaned from those communications, but you don't want to go into detail about how you're planning on dealing with the problem because then they'll find ways to work around it prematurely before those solutions ever even get implemented. However, I will say that, again, one of the reasons why I haven't been making many Team Fortress 2 videos is because it was just really, really hard to get into a game and record and play and have a good time. Up until recently, I think, actually, we were actually starting to see some, like a better uptick in playing the game. But of course, around the fixed TF2 movement, the bots came back in full swing. And this could just be my region that I play in. I have no proof for that. But the past 3 or 4 streams from before fixed TF2 happened, we were having amazing luck. We would get in maybe a bot here or there, but we would kick it and we would move on. Then fixed TF2 starts and it starts getting promoted, and then all of a sudden, I think the very next week, we went to go stream and there were bots galore, just in every server we got into. And it wasn't just me that felt like that, it was Edwin and Amanda and Borker, and if you don't know some of those names, that's whatever. But yeah, the bot problem, I think one of the biggest things we as a community could do was just be patient and stop trying to make such an uproar about it, because as I've said a lot of times in these Discord servers that I've been in, or when people ask me about it, is that these are online trolls, and trolls only want one thing, and that's the attention. If you stop feeding them the attention, they'll stop making trouble, because if they're not getting what they came for, they're just gonna leave and go away. And that doesn't always help, but I do certainly believe that that was an option that we had. But, again, however the rest of the community wants to go about this, go for it. But taking part in social activism or justice or anything like that is not something I do, because personally I don't believe it works. I think it's either going to get fixed or it's not, whether or not you ever, make an uproar or cause a scene about it. But that's just me and my, I guess, nihilistic view of the world. But with all of that being said, just my thought dump, there's no script or anything here, just a thought dump is really all it is. With all of that being said, all of this footage that you're seeing here was recorded, like, today. Like, within the hour that I started making this video. And that's all it is. It's just a quick talking video to get my thoughts about the bots and things out there. Again, because putting the time into making a long-form video like that, which was at one point a thing I wanted to do, it was just bringing me down. It really depressed me making it, because TF2bers, without going into detail, they're a little delusional. This game does not make nearly as much money as I think people like these protester organizers do. They're calling for a boycott, but I don't think TF2 makes enough money to even make it worth them fighting a boycott. But either way, I'm glad that the bots have kind of died down, at least for now. I had heard they came back, but I didn't run into a single one today at all, so maybe that was untrue, maybe that was at a specific time where they were just more dense. I mean, I don't really know. I do know that a lot of those Discord servers did get, infiltrated and spied on and kind of brought to light, and there were some talks, I suppose, that they were trying to currently bury themselves, make themselves not visible to the public, because I guess I've heard secondhand that like this kind of cheating is illegal. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know, but I can't see it really being illegal. I hadn't looked into it though. But with all of that being said, if you've been wanting to play Team Fortress 2, now would be the time to do it, because it is currently, as I'm talking, still pretty bot free, at least in the eastern region of the United States. And failing all of that, there's always quick play from Master Config. So, with all that said, go out there, play Team Fortress 2, have fun, and report back here, I guess, and tell me how it's gone. So with all that, I'll see you next time.